Hey guys, good to see you. Happy New
Hey,
Year.
Happy New Year.
We're so glad to be here, and we just made a New Year's resolution to start doing Facebook Lives. So we're pretty excited about that, and we want to follow through with it. So we thought we'd talk about something that we're experiencing right now, which is a feeling of overwhelm. And I think everybody knows how overwhelm feels is kind of scary and it feels all clutchy and upsetting. And we were feeling that way when we were looking at what we had to do this week, this month, in order to get ready for our challenge and for our next business adventures that we're really excited about. But we just weren't feeling like we had enough time. And I especially felt like after having the kids and friends and family here for Christmas, and they stayed through New Year's, and it was lovely. We love everybody. We love them. It was so great to see them. And then we got kind of put right back into work and feeling like, oh my God, there is not enough time.
And then we started looking at the calendar and realizing that we really hadn't given ourselves enough time for the stuff we want to do in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we spent a couple of days kind of like, wow, how are we going to get all this stuff that we planned for right now done when we're still a little bit tired from dealing with holidays and family and friends.
So, and what I realized is that it's not just overwhelm that happens in work, although that happens a lot, but it's overwhelm in personal life. And, we have, our youngest is getting married in the summer. And so we have a lot to do with the yard and things to plan. And we have so much other things we want to do, exercise and getting a lot of sleep. So it all kind of felt a little overwhelming. So we thought that we would share 3 tips for instant overwhelm relief. And that's what we wanted to talk about today.
So I'll start with the first tip, which is, what do you do when you feel that overwhelm? So our bodies, whenever we start to kind of feel, here this thing comes again that you've experienced before, your body has a real physiological reaction, and it kind of takes you out of your normal flow. So one of the ways when you start to feel that kind of anxious, overwhelm, pulling back, breath holding thing is to actually realize, wow, how do I feel? Oh, I feel like I'm holding my breath. So the first tip is to work with your breath. So you just take a nice, first realizing, okay, I feel this thing and I have a body. And if I want to get back in the moment and really participate with how to calm myself, I can use my breath. So we're going to take an easy breath. And there's really no good or bad way to do it. You just start realizing, wow, I can come back to this moment in time and I can bring myself into awareness of how I feel through my breath. So we'll take another breath. We just let go. And there's all kinds of magical stuff that happens with breath, because breath is initiated from our solar plexus, our power center, really. Then there's all these goodies that happen when we take a breath, where we relax the parts of our body that are in this area of our body. And one of them is around the kidney area where the adrenals are. And the adrenals are kind of like our stress zone. And when we take that breath, we actually are kind of giving a little mini massage to those adrenals, and where the adrenal cortisol hormones happen when we get stressed and overwhelmed. It's also an area where we can send a message to our body, hey, I want to relax and bring things back into the moment instead of stressing ahead. So we'll take another breath. So that's tip number 1. Use your breath to be able to relax.
Yeah. And it's just something that we're really passionate about is how when you don't stop and breathe and take a moment to find that calm, centered place in yourself, then that can really affect your ability to look forward and look into what you really want and to feel what you want and to make decisions around how, not only how to get you what you want, but what it is exactly that you want, so that you can see that and start manifesting that with your vision. And that's what the ability to sit down, take a breath, get calm and centered gives you, is that ability to detach from whatever firestorm is going on around you, to just feeling your body and feeling exactly what it is that you need in that moment. And from that place, you can really start to look at decision making and visioning that will help you in the future to create that future that you want.
Especially when we're at the beginning of a new year and we're thinking, wow, what am I going to do to create the prosperity that I'm looking for this year? And right away, as our minds start to develop that plan, then we start to bring in old feelings sometimes of stress and overwhelm, because maybe we haven't been able to do it in the past. And we think, am I going to be able to do it now? So that's when taking that nice, easy breath and being able to come back and bring yourself into a feeling of the power of what you can do right now.
Mm-hmm. And that leads perfectly into tip number 2, which is if you're feeling overwhelmed and in the minute, and say you're sitting at your desk and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of a list maker. So for me, I'll look at my list and it has like 40 things on it. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do? And even if I shave it down to a hit list for today or something, sometimes I'll still have like 15 things on that list. So what a wise person once told us was, pick 3 things. Pick 3 things that you absolutely need and want, have the desire to get done today.
Maximum 3.
Maximum 3, 2, 1, and just do that. If the other things happen, that's fantastic. But pick the ones that are the most important for you. And again, for you following that vision of what you want your future to look like. What are the 3 things that will take you there? And do those only. Concentrate on those big ticket items. And even if you get a step or 2 towards those, that's great. That's what you want to do, is make movement to your big goals in these smaller steps, and just pick 3 and work on those for right now, right here, right now.
Yeah, which leads into tip number 3 really well. So as you're looking at what your plans are and your goals, I know it's natural for us. We start to say, okay, here's where I want to do this one. And here's the 3rd week of February, I want to be in this place. Well, we know the reality of some of those things is that as we set those goals and we create deadlines, especially the ones that are self-imposed, we have to really look at, is that a realistic thing? Is that a healthy thing for me to impose that deadline on myself and then to follow it so rigorously that it overwhelms me? So if we can give ourselves that little bit of margin when we're in the moment and we're starting to feel overwhelmed, to look at our kind of outlook of the dates that we've imposed on ourselves and when we want to get our projects done, we can say, what would be the fallback? What if I put that out a week? And And Tony and I just did that
Yep.
with a big project that we've got going right now. And we're so excited and so feel like revitalized because we gave ourselves one more week, and it just let everything fall into a place where it's going to be much more comfortable for us. The result is going to be better. We're going to have more fun while we're doing it. And I think people will really see the results of that in the product that we create for what we've got coming.
Yeah, because I think that, again, that extra time will allow us to fall into that calm and centered and creative space without having to fall back on, oh my gosh, I have to get it done. And then, like, I got a little cold. I was stressed out in the new year and stuff. And I was like, oh, so it's pushing too hard. Why do we have to push like that? How about if we give ourselves a little bit of space and push it out a week? It's a self-imposed deadline. We were like, no, we have to get it done. We're gonna before, the end of January or whatever. And then we're like, but does 1 week really matter? So it's really interesting. And we've just started doing this in the last couple months, is saying, okay, what does 1 week matter? Or what does this piece of the puzzle matter? What if we let go of one piece of technology or one week? How will that improve how we feel? Our health, for example, because now we can sleep a little more right now, so that we don't have to lose our sleep in order to get all the things done in a rush. So we're so thrilled about doing tip number 3 for ourselves and really saying, okay, can I give myself a break? Since I put that deadline together, can I undo that and just give myself a little breathing room so I can be happier and healthier and feel better right here, right now? So that's tip number 3. Look at your own self-imposed deadlines, and even deadlines that maybe you set with someone else, and really decide if it feels so tight and so overwhelming that it's too much. Maybe it is. Maybe you could just push it out a week or 2 or even 5 days. So that's our 3 tips. Number 1 is to take a deep breath, get centered, feel what's right for you, and take another deep breath until you can feel calm. Number 2 is look at what really needs to be done today and just pick 3 or under or one, right, to
whatever
work
really
on.
Needs to be done. Sometimes that'll
Right.
be just making the one phone call that's so important and being able to follow up with maybe one that you made yesterday.
It's true. And then number 3 is looking at your self-imposed deadlines and deciding if it really has to be that deadline or not. So that's what we're putting out there to help with your overwhelm that you might be feeling at this time, the beginning of the year. And we're so excited about getting rid of overwhelm, helping people lose self-doubt and procrastination, that we're working on a new offering, right? We're going to do a challenge, a brand new challenge in a couple weeks, and it's called the Prosperity Clarity Challenge. And what we hope people will get out of that challenge is being able to look at what they want, what is their vision of prosperity, and to be able to go after it. We'll help give tips, and every day we'll have a bunch of tips and techniques for looking at what you really want, visioning that, and then figuring out how to make great decisions to move towards that prosperity clarity.
Yeah, so we're going to, you can get more information about that on our Facebook group, Vibrant Healing Wisdom. And we're going to put a link down below so that you can click on that and go and sign up for that Facebook challenge.
Free 5-day Facebook challenge. So
yeah,
we're excited about that. And that's where we're going this month, and we hope you'll join us. We love you guys so much, and we're really excited about this year and how 2019 looks just spectacular.
Yeah. So we'll see you there. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Bye.